Well, hello there, guys. Coming at you with some more Graviteam tactics. You guys seem to enjoy this, and we're going to do another UNITA battle. Of course, this is the Angolan Civil War, or the Bush War, as some may like to call it. And we're actually going to be doing a major infantry assault on what we believe to be MPLA settlements over here in this part of the country. Now, we've got a lot of areas over here. We can see the South African flag. We're working with the South Africans, of course. And what I want to do is, well, wait a minute. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is go towards the settlement over there, which we believe may have some rebel terrorist leaders that we want to take on. Now, once again, I give a disclaimer because we have so many special snowflakes in the world we live in today that I do not support any of these factions. This is just a gameplay video. That's all it is. That's all it's ever going to be. So let's go ahead, guys. We're going to get started. I like the setup we've taken. As you can see, it's nighttime. This is nighttime in the jungle. This is some scary stuff. You can actually hear the animals, the bugs, etc. And we're going to go ahead and attack Kubanga 1. I'm going to go for a straight-up attack. And I'm going to take these units over here, and I'm going to attack the settlement. Now, I'm almost certain that the rebels are going to be waiting for us, so we definitely want to be in an attack mode. We don't want to assault. We don't want to just go out crazy, but we also don't want to move fast. We want to just move through this area with pace, with a little bit of intelligence without going absolutely crazy. So our men are going to begin moving, and hopefully they reach their target very, very soon. The jungle is a deadly place at this time of night, and this is not the greatest time to be attacking, but we have no choice. We've been given our orders. Let's carry them out. Okay, guys, some gunshots ringing out at night, and you will soon see that at nighttime, despite it being a little hard to see, when those tracer rounds start popping up, it becomes very easy to see the enemy. And it looks like we've stumbled across an enemy patrol right here, right in front of us. We're going to try to deal with them. Obviously, our boys are moving up, doing their best to smash these men. But look at that. A bunch of gunfire, a bunch of grenades going off. This is definite close combat. Oh, that was a beautiful hit. Taking out 2 of the MPLA troops. They've definitely got some patrols here set up, waiting for this attack. There's no trenches, nothing like that. Well, a few trenches, actually, right there. They're a little hard to see because of the actual nighttime, but when you're fighting in the jungle at night, you're going to have to deal with a lot of these. Now, Boa Vida was the first to make contact, and all those little gray dots you see represent dead enemy soldiers. We can kind of see them here. We'll be able to take a look after the battle at the statistics and actually see those bodies up close and personal, but we want to keep moving. Now, one scary thing, the enemy's got some APCs over here. Now, we do have, I believe, some anti-tank weapons, things such as AT guns, AT rifles, but we're not going to focus entirely on that APC. We're going to try to take it out, but we might not have the ability to actually hit it. While all that's occurring, we're trying to move these guys towards the settlement. What we might be able to do, though, is take some of them and actually move this way. So I'm going to attack with some of these boys this way to flank the enemy, and we're going to continue moving forward. If we get up close and personal over here, we can see that our guys on the right really aren't making too much contact. I want to grab them and sort of move them over here on the right flank of the enemy with a fast move. There we go. More APCs, guys. Oh, my goodness. Boys, be careful. We're not going to take cover. We're going to keep on attacking, but we're going to try to make sure that any sort of anti-tank or mortars we have are piling up in that direction and firing at those units. All right, here we go. Those APCs are definitely still a threat. There's a lot of infantry guarding them. I'm hoping guys like Mbandi can do a pretty good job. We can already see those APCs firing what looks to be maybe some anti-personnel rounds, and they are definitely going to do a very good job at defending this area. There we go, Tariq. Keep up the fire, son. See, Tariq is all here by himself, firing into the jungle. The only thing these guys have to guide them is the flashes from the enemy infantry units. Over here we can see some more enemy APCs. We're still approaching, and we're not stopping. We're going to go ahead and attack. I'm going to focus fire on just that location there. But I'm going to take Vansoromanju and attack over on this sector, hitting the enemy from multiple different locations. Remember, our goal is the settlement. That's where the enemy, the actual enemy command forces are supposed to be, and that is our primary goal. Come on, boys. Definitely a lot of panic going on at this time. Although we've already panicked the enemy quite a lot by wiping out their primary guard, their primary defense force, and now we just need to focus fire on the remaining infantry units. Come on, boys. UNITA's leading the attack over here, and it looks like our guys are doing okay, despite the fact that they're under fire from APC units. This is one of those situations where digging in might not be a bad idea, so I'm actually going to grab Luongo and the UNITA, these guys right here, and I am going to seek cover. Basically just set up a form of defense. We can already see a bunch of gray dots popping up here, so we know we're being effective with our shots, but we don't have anything specifically to take out those APC units. Machado is a mortarman. I'm going to try to make sure that he's calling in a lot of rounds on this area, and I'm also going to have him seek cover. Alright, it looks like De Souza and the rest of these guys, the guys that we sent to basically flank the enemy, are also arriving, so we're moving to their perspective. And I'm hoping that basically scrunching the enemy in this situation is really going to have to make them think twice about staying in this location. Obviously, they're still going to have their armored cars for quite a while, but if we can kill all the soldiers around them, we stand a chance. Souza's got some cover by this tree, but he's approaching cautiously, and with reason, too, crawling towards the enemy. Come on, De Souza. And there we go, guys. One of the enemy APCs is out. If we get a little closer, we can see if the men may have just left it. I mean, because of the unbelievable fire, the lights are still on. It looks like it's in perfect working order, but they've definitely escaped. So we took out one of their APCs there in the center, maybe because of that flank attack. I do see a lot of fire coming from this flank attack position, and we're going to go ahead and attack that next APC over there. We're going to go with an assault, just basically throwing our men into the fray with everything they've got to try and destroy the remaining enemies. We've also got to worry about that APC over there, but we got a lot of fire hitting it, and some of these guns do have anti-tank capabilities, or not anti-tank capabilities, but anti-light armor capabilities, and it looks like this guy's trying to get the hell out of here. As you can see, we may have just taken him out, actually. Look at that. Definitely don't see him in the fog of war anymore, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's taken out. Come on, boys. Alright, I'm actually going to have them focus. It looks like they can't focus fire on that one. Fair enough. But now we're going for a full-out assault here in the center. Everybody is going to attack these APCs. Eventually, somebody's going to get around through that can really do some damage to them. Right now, those APCs are not returning fire. So if anything, we've suppressed them sufficiently that they are not in a mood to fight back at all. Let's take a look at that APC. Oh, yeah, he's down. He's down. He is down. Oh, yes. And that's probably piercing rounds. Went right through the damn thing, and the driver, the crew, they're finished. 2 dead APCs right there. MPLA APCs that are obviously a serious cause for concern to us. And once again, I'm assaulting. With this many men, knowing that we have anti-vehicle capabilities, I think we can pretty much wipe these guys out entirely. We also took a key point. It may have been... No, it was Quito 1, which is fine. What I really want to take is the settlement, and I'm hoping that they're not going to have many men in this area, thinking that their main force of defense was right here where we just saw all this action, but I want to get rid of that damn vehicle, and right now all of our men are focusing fire on it. Eventually one of those rounds is going to pierce through, or the crew's just going to get too scared and they're going to abandon it. Look at that. It's getting smashed from all locations, not returning fire. We may have killed the gunner. One thing's for sure, they're not getting any rest whatsoever, and they're trying desperately to escape. But since we have these guys surrounded, they have nowhere to go. Nowhere at all. Actually, this guy right here is an anti-tank gunner, Mabinda's crew, but he's a bit too far away to really help us. And there we go. The APC's dead, and actually you can see the enemy just came out of it and got shot. They tried to abandon the APC to no avail. Totally destroyed. Absolutely amazing attack. If it wasn't for the night and the jungle, then we might not have been able to come out of this alive. Now we're under fire by the settlement. We may have located the next location of enemy defenses, and we're going to assault that one too. At the end of this fight, our boys are going to be tired. Very tired. But it's going to be worth it. Let's go ahead, target. We got another APC over here. 4 enemy APCs so far, and I'm keeping Di Carvalho right here. Sorry, I didn't want to hunt. I just want to seek cover so that he can bombard that village. If it's an enemy village, we want to make sure that nothing comes out of it alive, at least without being in handcuffs. Let's put it that way. Let's take a look at Caceres. Caires, excuse me. You can hear the movement of that APC, of course. But the settlement is something I would like to take for sure. I'm going to focus fire. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, they're definitely in that settlement. We're approaching with several infantry units. Looks like some lucky shots are smashing the enemy there. Assault, boys, assault. We're going straight for the enemy armor. Now, I don't recommend doing this if you're playing a World War I campaign, a World War II campaign, excuse me. But in a more modern campaign like Operation Hooper, I wouldn't do this with a tank, but with an APC, yeah, if you can basically put a lot of fire on that mother, you're eventually going to knock them out. You're going to force the crew to get out. They're just going to lose their cool and ditch the thing. Or you're going to get a few lucky shots to go through, and you're going to have the same good effects. Now, let's take a look over there where we just got through just raining hell on the enemy, quite frankly. And all those little gray dots represent enemy dead. And 3 dead APCs, a number of dead troops. If we go over here, so many dead MPLA soldiers. This was a very successful counterinsurgency operation so far, but I'm not calling this a victory until we take the settlement for our own. So I am going to go ahead. I'm going to fast move this one time. Looks like we got some prisoners captured. They did the right thing, and actually, it's kind of funny because we passed them, and I think these guys probably came out of the APC, and I think they only realized after a while that, you know what, maybe we're way behind enemy lines. Probably a good idea to go ahead and give up. And in fact, if you take a look at that, that was actually an anti-tank gun. We could have certainly used that ourselves, but we don't currently have one. So let's keep on moving. All right, our boys are right on top of that APC. But these guys over here are definitely getting into dangerous territory. Mabinda and the rest of them. Come on, boys. The enemy's definitely going to try to defend this village with their lives. Last thing they need are their commanders to be captured. A lot of our men right now are taking cover. I can understand why. Oh, there we go. The APC's moving. She's moving. I hope somebody's got an anti-tank grenade. He's not seeing a damn thing. There we go. Nice hits. Did you guys see that? That was a beautiful hit. That was definitely an anti-tank gun banging the side of this. Oh, there's another one. There's another anti-tank round popping right off the side. They're being very careful. There's another one. That is a grenade, and that thing is finished. Definitely an anti-tank grenade, anti-vehicle grenade. That thing is completely destroyed, and we can move into the settlement. I am going to assault the settlement. In fact, I should have hunted. I could still change that. I'm going to have some of these guys hunt, and I think it was probably Ervadosa which got those hits. He is an anti-tank trooper, but he's already lost one of his men. Whether he's dead or injured, we don't really know. I think he's probably dead, to be quite honest with you, with the amount of gunfire that's been going on here. There we go. Key point taken. Beautiful. And we had a vehicle lost. Mabumba's... Unfortunately, we lost Mabumba's mortar, so we're going to just have to use him as an infantry force at this point. Still plenty capable. Those AKs don't go to waste by any means. But I feel a lot safer with that piece of armor no longer bothering us, and our men are right up against it. You can see the flashes of our men firing at the possible insurgents in this particular region. Look at that. A few of them hiding over here at this other section of the village. We just killed the guy inside that building. We don't have to worry about him. And the settlement is essentially in our control. But I will feel a lot safer once we have our men actually in the settlement. And then we don't have to worry about any more counter-terrorists. Or any more terrorists, I should say. Well, it depends which side you support, let's be honest. When technically we're the rebels, the MPLA did take control of Angola and declare themselves the government. And it was UNITA, with the help of the South Africans, that decided to try to dislodge that government. Didn't work out so well. Well, depends who you talk to. Kind of like Vietnam. It's one of those wars where the losers, whoever you want to guess they are, still claim victory in certain respects, and The winners pretty much claim victory. In this case, I think the MPLA definitely won this war, but not without a lot of help from the Cubans and their Soviet allies. So we're going to go ahead. We're now flanking this group. We're going to get to that hut very soon, and I think this guy, it doesn't have long to live. Obviously, getting very close. He might throw a grenade. Taking cover for sure. I would do the same. Come on, son. Oh, he's down. He is down. Lucky shots. Very lucky shots. We could still go for Guanene 3. I think that's the last MPLA area. No, there's still a few. And in fact, we could take half of these forces. We've got so many men in this battle. And we can move to Sabyunga. And I'm just going to fast move. It's probably recommended at this point that you let your guys rest, but we're not letting anybody rest right now. We want to go straight for these locations and hopefully take it. Okay, boys. The village is under our control. Round up the enemies in all the houses. Make sure that they will be destroyed. We will take them in for questioning and turn them over to our South African friends. Oh my God, did Mbembe pop into this episode temporarily? I think he did. All right, a lot of great work there by our boys. We definitely want to try and take a little more. But honestly, if the enemy was to offer us a ceasefire right now that we took the settlement, I would accept it. It's just way too much gunfire going on here. Our guys are tired, but they're moving pretty quickly since we gave the fast move option. As you can see, they're not really taking cover. They're just moving. I don't expect there to be much more defenses by the enemy, and indeed, they're calling for a ceasefire. I'm still tempted to go for Sabyunga, but I think we've gotten enough bloodshed for one fight. We might go ahead and give the enemy some rest. We got the important points. We might still lose the battle because Graviteam is very strange on that. Occasionally, no matter how well you do, you still lose the battle. But I'm thinking taking out 5 enemy APCs, or was it 4, and a ton of enemy soldiers, we should probably go ahead and count ourselves lucky and end the battle before we lose any more men. So I am going to accept that ceasefire. I hope you guys don't hate me for it. Sabyunga and Zambezi are going to remain in enemy control, but obviously these are areas that we could take later. Not to mention, we're not doing a campaign here, we're just doing a fun battle. But in this particular campaign, which is the South African campaign, even though we're using UNITA forces here, and some South African forces, although mainly UNITA forces, we would easily be able to retake those areas, and the enemy is essentially totally destroyed in this sector. So that is good news for sure. There we go. It's a total victory. Pretty awesome, pretty awesome. So it looks like 29 killed on our side, 15 wounded, 0 missing, 31 killed on the enemy side, absolutely no wounded. That's a little creepy. That means that, unfortunately for the enemy, they didn't have a single man that was hit in this battle survive. We took no prisoners. We're just going through these areas that the enemy had, just so you guys can kind of see what we've done. This, of course, was an MPLA mortar pit. A bunch of MPLA trenches here. I thought we were just dealing with men on the ground, but they definitely had trenches set up. Luckily, our boys, great shooting there right through the face. Our boys spotted them and were able to finish them off rather quickly and move through these lines. I think just because we had so many men. And of course, if we take a look at these APCs, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Look at that damn thing. Totally penetrated by all these shots. You can see it's mostly 7.62 ammunition, but we still got penetrating hits. So I'm guessing that some of the parts of this vehicle are not withstanding against massive amounts of AK-47 rifle fire, and probably some AT rounds too. Now, if we take a look over here, I'm actually really glad we didn't go into Sabyunga. I'm glad we quit when we did, because they had more men defending the village of Sabyunga. We took the main village, the main settlement. Sabyunga, of course, remains in MPLA hands, and it's even possible that some of their leaders were hiding here instead. They also had 2 more APCs over here. If we take a look at the settlement, can't really see too many of the bodies. We can definitely see the penetration on the APC, but most of the bodies are in these homes. You can see the little gray dots letting us know where the enemy's final resting place is, of course. And I just want to see the amount of men we had here moving up. Look at that line of men. Remember, I made them fast move, but all of these UNITA forces, let's take a look. Yeah, definitely UNITA forces. No South African troops during this battle, as a matter of fact, although we are being led by the South Africans. There was a lot of them, and I think if we had gotten to Sabyunga, we would have been massacred. We not only would have been in an open area here and hit by all of those APCs, but we would have also had this tiny group over here, which was probably trenches, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's not trenches, but it's a nice group of defenders, and these are Cubans. Cuban defenders, which would have laid waste to us, hitting us with flanking fire. So I think quitting when we did was definitely a good idea. There were also a bunch of MPLA forces hiding out in these woods. All things considered, with the amount of MPLA forces that were in this sector, we did a pretty good cleanup job. Hope you guys enjoyed that battle. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button, share the video if you can, subscribe if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? And always have an awesome, awesome day.